All right, guys, welcome back to our channel. It's been 2 weeks of international break, but finally, the game week is about to come back. And last week was game week 3. You know, I mentioned at some point that there was something, I had a secret, but we'll come back to that later, guys. We'll come back to that later. So, we dropped some games. We dropped some code last week in the video we did, and it was 18 odds. And unluckily for us, Tottenham couldn't score a goal. We just needed Tottenham to score one goal for that ticket to boom, but Tottenham couldn't get one goal against Bournemouth at home, guys. Can you imagine? At home. And you know, Tottenham has been our best performance in the Premier League so far, beating Manchester City. You know, we all expected Tottenham to at least get a goal, but I think Bournemouth is on fire. So 2 weeks we had 2 games cut the ticket. This week it's only 1 game, guys. That means we're close. Okay, all right. So a recap of last game week. We made some. There were some top performers as usual. There was Gehi, there was Chaloba, there was Labozai, there was Sensei from Bournemouth.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
What do you think about that free kick from Labozai?
Nah, it was wicked, man. It was wicked, to be honest with you. And if you guys watched the match, you'd see that the goalkeeper Raya, as soon as the ball went in, like he shook his head and like he couldn't believe he went in. Like, nah, I don't know what to say, man. It was a very good one. That's all. It was a really good one.
All right. So last week I mentioned that I have like a secret, you know, weapon I was going to use because I wanted to win the game week. And you all know how it stands in our group. We were very tight. Me and Shei were tight on points. And then my secret weapon was I wanted to use my wild card, you know, so I could just bring in a lot of Man U players. It's not a secret because at some point in the video, I remember I mentioned that I was going to bring, I think Man U was going to do very well at home against Burnley. And then I mentioned that I was going to, you know, unleash a secret because I wanted to win the game week. But I think Shea was very tactical. He didn't use any card. He didn't use any of his cards. But, you know, he finally won the game week. How do you feel, Mr. Shea?
It was good. It was good. I think it was actually your free hit that you used. But yeah, it was good. It was good that I won. I wasn't necessarily expecting it because throughout the 3 game weeks, I didn't win any week. It just happened that I was a little consistent. And I always say that my main plan is to make sure that I go above the average points each game week. And I feel like once I do that, I'm able to pass. I think the first week I passed it well. This week wasn't so good. Like game week 3 wasn't so good for me. I had only 53 points, but it was enough. I passed you with I think only 3 points. And yeah, I knew you'd have been sad, but well, good one for me. It's I've recovered half of my investment already, and hopefully there's still more. The person I'd like to get something from would be Eric, and I think we'll just try and call him later on and just have his thoughts because it's not here today. But yeah, we'll call him and give him a nice a nice one. But yeah, hopefully it's your turn next next month.
All right, guys. Let me just say that Eric was last once more in our group as well. He was last once more. But talking about Eric, some of his recommendations for last week, they did very well. He mentioned João Pedro, he mentioned Bruno Fernandes, and those two actually gave a very good point. I think João Pedro got 1 goal, Bruno Fernandes got a late penalty, and then he also got a goal. So he got good points. They all got good points.
Yeah. I think, like you said, his recommendations for last week were on point. Were on point. I think the only one was Ekiteke that, well, surprisingly didn't do much. But yeah, I think we are getting it right with our recommendations because I think myself as well, I recommended a player from Newcastle.
Yeah, you said you wanted you believe Newcastle would do well, and we said Gordon was red carded. And,
and like I also said because of their run of games. So I got Livramento from Newcastle, and he rewarded. 6 points is actually a very good an average point to get from a player that you bring newly. It's not every time you get a new player and then it gives you like 15 points. So six is good enough, honestly. So I was happy that I had him. And I think another person I mentioned, who I've been mentioning since, is Grealish, and he paid off again. So that's really good. And one thing I wanted to bring up is, the top performance so far in terms of like all the game weeks so far. And in terms of the strikers, you have Haaland, you have Pedro, you have Richarlison. I don't know, like he'll be on the screen. I don't know if I missed someone else right now. In terms of midfielders, you have Enzo from Chelsea,
Grealish
Grealish. Yeah,
himself.
Grealish is up there as well. Semenyo as
Yeah,
well.
Semenyo has been outstanding.
Gakpo is somewhere there as well.
Yeah,
And then for defenders, you have I think Cheloba, you have Calafuri from Arsenal. There are two Crystal Palace defenders as well. So it seems like Crystal Palace is doing quite
exceptionally
good,
well. Yeah.
So maybe one can consider bringing bringing their those players. And that
And their next game is against Sunderland at home, actually.
so
So
it's
yeah,
not a bad one. I think we are almost jumping now to our recommendation for next game week, but yeah, we can still talk about it when we get to that phase of that segment of the episode. But yeah, I think one thing one can do is combine the FDR list, fix the difficult fixtures, fixture difficulty thing, and then combine this top performance, and maybe you could have something there. And I feel like, especially because the players that are doing well now are not the really expensive
yeah,
ones,
yeah.
they're
That's
not the
something to
really expensive
consider.
ones. So it's good. It's good for the game. There are proper differentials out there that we can consider and look at. So we'll pick it up again when we get to that section.
Yeah. So mentioning Grealish like you did, I think Grealish is the top signing now. Everyone is having him in his team.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Most transferred player in
For this
for the
game
next
week,
game week.
yeah.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, everybody's just waking up to this dude. Like I knew I'd been following Grealish from his time at Villa, and it was a very crucial and important player. Is a big fish in a small pond type of player. So the moment I saw his transfer to Everton, I was so excited, and I knew I was going to sign him. So I'm glad that everyone is opening up to it now. And well, just like football, he's not going to perform every week,
Yeah.
but as long
Yeah.
as he's consistent and he keeps doing what he's doing, yeah.
All right, guys. The last week, the highest point scorer had 118 points, and
Okay.
I think he played his bench boost. So I think most of the time, people are taking the risk already early in the season, and it's a normal thing. People are playing their chips. If they take the lead, they believe that they can keep the lead. You understand? Shea scored 53 points. I scored 52 points. Eric scored 44 points. Eventually we'll get to the point where we'll call Eric, and then we'll have our banter as well, because we're all in the same group, and you know how it goes. So now I think looking into the coming game week, I think we need to talk about who we think our players for this week, what we think about the week, what do you think would happen? Because personally, I believe that Gakpo is somebody I would bring in for this coming game week. I believe that I wanted to bring Isak, but I was thinking twice, because I want to sell Palmer, because Palmer is injured, and that's a lot of money on my bench injured. So I wanted to bring in Isak, but at the same time, I was considering whether Liverpool will risk, taking Ekitike out and bringing Isak straight in, or because if Isak is going to play 45 minutes, I know he does magic, but I don't want to risk it. I want a player that plays 90 minutes, And so far, I've been looking at Liverpool last game. They don't sub Gakpo and Salah. Those are like I think Van Dijk. Those are people who you can't sub, or you wouldn't want to sub. You understand? So I'm thinking of bringing in Gakpo just for the sake of the assurance that he's going to play a full 90 minutes, But I think Ekitike or Isak would have a good chance against at home for their next fixture, So I'm bringing in Gakpo, and I think Gakpo is my man. I believe that would perform this coming week. That's my player. I don't know who you think would perform this week.
For me, I had Gakpo as well. So I was because of the international break, I had not been looking at my team until today when we had to do this episode. So yeah, I was looking at who I could bring, and Gakpo is on top of my list. And like I always say that I check the FDR list a lot, and Liverpool have like two good
Yeah.
good games.
Yeah.
They are playing Burnley and Everton. And I think, yeah, Gakpo would be. It was one person I identified as he has been consistent this season already for Liverpool. So yeah, I have him on my list for him to come in. Semenyo was also another consideration, but I'm not so sure. So I think I'll go with Gakpo. I think I'll have it in Gakpo. Yeah, I'll use my one transfer, I think, to bring Gakpo. But we'll see. I still have to make that decision, but
All right, guys, on your screen now, you have the fixtures for the game week 3. You have Arsenal playing Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest has brought in a new coach. What do you think? Do you think he's going to change anything?
I don't know. I liked Poglu as the Poglu when he first started with Tottenham, because he likes attacking football, isn't it? But I'm not sure if he's the best person for the job. But I might be wrong. What do I know? But I just think that's too attacking minded. Like if he's
I remember you said, well, even when he's losing,
even when he's losing, he's
losing
attacking
at every point. There's no point.
He has a red card.
Yeah.
He's attacking. He has two every time he's attacking, and he said it like all he knows is attacking football. And for a team like Nottingham Forest, I feel like you have to be tactical with your play and your attack and everything. You know that you're playing a team that you know are stronger than you. You go a little bit on the defense, do counter attack and stuff like that. So going all out attack all the time, playing like a Real Madrid or a Barcelona, it might not be the best. I don't know what happened. So yeah, we'll see. Wish him all the best.
Yeah, we've actually got some exciting fixtures. I think Crystal Palace is playing Sunderland, and I believe I think personally, I think Crystal Palace has got a big chance to really show the team. The team looks very solid, and I think they can be the surprise, the players that pull in the most points this weekend as well. That's because I was limited to say one player, so I chose Gakpo, but I think Crystal Palace has a chance. Everton is also playing Aston Villa. Aston Villa has not really been playing very well. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons Eric is not doing well, because he keeps believing in Rodgers, and nothing is really happening there. So our differentials, like we mentioned, I said Gakpo. Shay is also saying Gakpo. We'll phone in Eric at some point and then get his own as well. So.
One question I wanted to ask: what do you think about because you mentioned Arsenal and you mentioned Crystal Palace, and it just reminded me about the transfer of this guy from the club, Eze, and he came on shortly in their
Liverpool
last match.
game,
yeah. Well, I felt like it's Eze is good, but I see there's potential, but I feel like it will gel well with the club. I'm not too sure about where they'll be playing him. Maybe left to replace the Martinelli and stuff. But I think it would be a good buy. And at some point when maybe they have a nice run of fixtures and stuff, I think I'd look at bringing him on my team. I like the guy. And yeah, I'm sentimental like that. I like if I like a player, just like I like Grealish, I stick with them. And it doesn't always pay off, but sometimes it does. But I think we should give Eric a call, and then let's have him on, and let's have a few laughs. I want to abuse someone.
All right.
Hello, Carlos.
Yeah, hello, Eric.
Yes, Carlos.
All right, guys, we have Eric on the line now. I'm sure and I'm hopeful that you can hear him. So
if I just do what he does whenever you introduce him, yes, Team Eric's.
Yes, Team Eric's. I'm right here, guys. I'm right here.
All right. So Eric is here with us. Eric, what was your recommendation last week?
Oh, last week I told my guys to look at Fernandez, and then look at Yao Pedro, and then Ekiteke.
Basically, you're proud of yourself and your recommendations, isn't it?
I'm very proud of myself. Yes, I even mentioned that I was tempted to take my armband from Salah and give to Fernandez.
Yeah, we saw you were not bold enough.
But I think I wasn't bold enough.
If you were bold, then you'd have gotten more points. What did you score for the week?
44, I believe.
44, I had 44.
Yeah. I'm always on tailing Eric, so I always know what he got and what, and compare that to what I get.
I was shocked you didn't say anything on the group this time, this past week.
No. You see, Carlos, you had how do you call it? The manager of you won the month, right?
Yes, manager of the month. It's okay. You were correct.
You got 500 Ghana cedis.
Yeah, in the bag, just waiting to win the next one so I can recoup my investment and then hopefully,
start making profit.
Yeah, definitely. That's the plan.
Have you ever won 2 managers in a row before?
Not in a row, but there's a first time for everything, no?
Okay. And then Carlos said he has some secret to tell us this game week.
Yeah, he exposed himself, but yeah, please go ahead.
I'm very sure he was going there about the chip he used. He played free hit, right?
So no, yeah, he played free. He already said that his plan to play the free was so that he wins the month. That was his secret weapon, but
No, he's not going to win anything until he play like 2 chips.
but that's impossible, no?
Unless he play like 2 chips, so he still have break balls and they have triple captain. He can do that this next month.
Okay. No, cool stuff. So, Eric, let's just jump to your recommendation for the coming game week forward and like how you're setting up your team.
Yeah, initially I wanted to do like 3 changes. That's taking -8. But
okay.
on second thought, I've changed that. So I think I'm bringing in 2 Palace players. I'm bringing in Mateta and Munoz. Munoz has been my guy from day one. I don't know why I didn't pick him this season. He had 9 points. He had a clean sheet and an assist. So he had 9 points last game week. You understand? So I'm gonna sell Watkins and then bring in Mateta and then sell Nottingham Forest. Their guy. I have one of their defenders in my defense, and since they've changed managers, Andy Pochettino is an attacking manager. He doesn't care about defense. So I'm going to take out my Nottingham defense and bring in Munoz. So my 2 recommendation is Mateta and Munoz. Daniel Munoz, both of Crystal Palace.
All right, cool stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a good recommendation. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I said Crystal Palace looks like a team to have a very good run, and they're playing Sunderland at home. I believe that they will do a very good job at home against Sunderland. So I think Eric's recommendations are good. I said Gakpo. Shay also thinks Gakpo. You know, so that's it. All right, guys. We're happy to have Eric. He's brought his recommendations. He was still last though. He's still last in our standing in our group. You know that aspect of
and
it.
I think that's why he's sick because it was last
because he's not feeling well. That's why
that's why he's joining.
Maybe that's why he refused to come on the show.
He knew he was going to get a bashing. He knew he was going to get a proper bashing.
I'm last, but I'm last and a little bit closer this time around. You know, last 2 game weeks I was fed up being. But now, I think when I checked, the Colours is leaving like 70 or maybe less points. And you know, FPL 70 points is no point.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Just 2 game weeks.
And 3 game weeks, you can catch up.
Yes, so it's not big, but yes, still I'm still on the take.
But quick question before we jump off. So if just playing devil's advocate here. So if next week players don't deliver again and you're like 40 points or like 30 something points, would that be a cause for a wild card at that point?
Yes. I think the question goes without saying because I was going to do a -8, but I said let me just tell them to don't rush it. So it's possible if come game week 4 and it's still not going well, and I'll do an overhaul. I'll just have to play a wild card. That's what I'll do.
All right, no problems. Makes sense. I think we'll just let you go now. Hope you feel better, and then you can join in person on the next episode.
Nice one. Does Carlos have any secret for next game week? Or no?
There's no secret. There's nothing at stake actually. So
it's a fresh start.
It's a fresh start.
Yes, it's a fresh start. And I wish all of us all the best. May the best man win the month. Safe.
Okay, thanks. Nice one.
all right, guys. So that was Eric on the line, and I hope you heard what he said. He's made his recommendations. We've made ours, and then we'll be looking forward to how the games will go. The code is on your screen for the bet as well, so you can look at it and also make your changes. You know, some of these games, you know, we look at, you know, all the possible outcomes and we put these games together. So sometimes, you know, you have to just look at it and then see what you can change in it, and then, you know, what you can add or what you can remove. And don't forget to also like, comment, share, subscribe, you know, invite your friends to subscribe to the channel as well. And here you can get some games to play, and then hopefully you can boom. All right, so guys, we'll see you next week again, and then we'll talk about a previous week, and then we'll talk about the upcoming week. See you and bye.